Hi, it's Staff Appreciation Week, and we just want to let everybody know in our district how much we appreciate what you do every single day for our kids in our school district. Some of the staff would like to share with you some of their favorite teachers as they were going through school. I will begin with mine. 5th grade elementary teacher, Jakey Roberts. Every day Miss Jakey would come in and she would be excited about being in school, excited about the kids. She always had some type of project or something going on in the classroom. One day, and I will never forget this, Miss Roberts walked up to a student. His name was Philip. She had him lie down on the ground, and she walked up and she said to the class, "I am going to teach you about inverted fractions." And she said, "You will never forget this." She grabbed Philip by the feet, popped him up in the air, held him upside down, and said, "Now this is how you invert fractions." Now I'm going to say, I don't know that you would get away with that today like they got away with it years ago, but it certainly made an impression on me and our entire class.
My very favorite teacher was my 3rd grade teacher from Inverness Primary, Miss Joyner. And I loved her so much because she was always happy. She was kind to all the students in the class. It didn't matter if you were well behaved, misbehaved, but she treated all of us the same. And it is just a testament that kindness doesn't cost anything, but it means everything.
I had one teacher that really stuck out to me during my high school career. It was Miss Allbritton. And the reason she stuck out so much is during the middle of calculus, she taught us life skills such as compounding interest, checkbooks, things like that. Use those skills the rest of my life still to this day.
Hey, my favorite teachers were actually Miss Madden and Ms West in Whitestone, New York, and elementary school. They took the time to really get to know all of us and build that relationship with all of us, and it was just a great experience. And they actually taught us life skills that was beneficial to get me through life, and I really wanted to thank them for everything they did.
The teacher that influenced me the most was Mr. Clotter. He was my 6th grade teacher, and he made learning fun. He created a lot of opportunities for hands-on exploration. In addition, he celebrated our successes and really taught us what we needed to know to become successful adults. In addition, he would do fun things like juggle, ride the unicycle. Those were on reward days. He actually influenced me in becoming the kind of teacher that I grew up to become, because I wanted to always consider the things that I felt were important in learning in his classroom. Oh, and one more thing that he did that never left me. Every day we had to stand up and recite the following: good, better, best, never let it rest until your good is better and your better is your best.
Zimmerman. He was my coach in junior high school. And Coach Zimmerman had a prosthetic leg, yet he was one of the greatest coaches I've ever been around. Talk about perseverance with the injury that he had, yet still taught us to strive for what you want in your career. So I am just so blessed to have had him help influence me to go on to college, pursue my degree. I went back to college to get another degree, and I am happy where I'm at right now in the field of food nutrition. So thank you, Coach Zimmerman.
My favorite teacher was Ron Allen, who was also my softball coach. He started at Lecanto High School fresh out of college. I was 9th or 10th grade, I believe, and he was our business teacher. And he also started the softball program, and I played softball for him. After graduating, my father passed away that following September, and Ron Allen was instrumental in making sure I made it to college. I had dropped out of CFCC, and he made me promise him that I would spend at least 1 year at a school that he got me hooked up with playing softball at Maryville College, knowing that after I spent a year there I would want to stay there, and he was right. So I committed to the year. I went there for a year and loved it, of course, and stayed for the full 4.5 years. Actually, should have been 4, but 4.5. I started playing softball there, and then ultimately ended up playing soccer and softball. Some days I blame Coach Allen for meeting and marrying Scott Farmer, and some days I give him credit. So, and knowing Scott, people will find that interesting, but he's instrumental and played a very important role in where I am today.
For me, the teacher that was the greatest influence was my band director in high school. His name was Mr. Joyce. We all called him Mr. J. And one of the reasons that he was one of the greatest influences was he always pushed us to work hard, do our best. When I was in high school, I played 3 different instruments, and I started with one, and then he wanted me to try a different instrument, so I tried the other instrument and continued to have to kind of challenge myself because one of them was the bass guitar, and I didn't feel I was really as good as I thought I should be, but he just continued to work with us and provide me additional support, and I just appreciated his constant encouragement and constant, I guess, kind of really made me feel like I could do it as long as I just kept pushing myself.
So my favorite teacher was Miss Ann Daniels, 3rd grade over at Zimmerman Primary School. Miss Daniels made class fun, exciting. She would sing and entertain the students. We really learned a lot because we wanted to be at school and we wanted to hear what she had to say. So thank you, Miss Daniels.
My favorite teacher is Michelle Bundy Preston. Back in 2nd grade at Hernando Elementary, she was just known as Miss Bundy. She was my favorite teacher because she truly cared about the students that she taught in her classroom. And I was fortunate enough to be able to work with Michelle Bundy Preston at Citrus Springs Elementary. When I was hired as a teacher, she was part of the interview team. I will always care and love Miss Bundy.
Favorite teacher growing up? Well, I grew up in Citrus County, K through 12, and had so many awesome teachers. It's really hard to name one. Many of them are actually even still in our schools, which is even better. So I guess, instead of naming one, I guess I could say I had such unique experiences that really influenced me a lot. One example would be Mr. Harper at Citrus High School was my English teacher my senior year, and did this really cool field trip over to the cemetery to write poems. And I just still remember it to this day, obviously, and so it did make an impact. And again, there were so many other teachers as well that did so many cool things and definitely wanted me to get involved in education as well. So thank you.
My favorite teacher was Bob Fisher at Citrus High School because he had a way of connecting with the kids and making his class fun.
My favorite teacher would be Mr. Story, 11th grade U.S. History. Love Mr. Story's class because he always brought history to life.
Miss Colleen Gurley was the best teacher that I remember having in high school. She was my chemistry teacher, and she was also my homeroom teacher. And she took the time every day to say something to me and encourage me, and very positive attitude, which stuck with me and gave me a lot of confidence, and I appreciate her very much.
My most favorite, most wonderful teacher that I had was in high school. His name is Mr. Poe. Mr. Poe gave me a lot of opportunities and extra love that I really did not deserve. And because of him, I want to do that. I want to give that out to as many students as I can. He's my inspiration for what I do. Thank you, Mr. Poe.
I certainly hope you enjoyed us going down memory lane. Again, I want to say thank you for what you do for everyone in our district. And I know that one day your student will be interviewed or on a video screen telling the same story about you as their favorite teacher. Thanks again for what you all do.